Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Coach Ellis from JUCO Made. Just wanted to reach out and make another presentation to you. Just some NCAA tips and reminders on how the 4-4 transfer process works and what is academic residency and how does that affect you if you want to transfer from one four-year school to another. Going forward, before I even talk about that 4-4 transfer rule and how it works, I want to just kind of go over things that I mentioned, information that I put in the 2-4 transfer video that's on the YouTube channel. So check that out too. So you're kind of, I'm on step 3 and you can go back and look at step 2. All right, so you can catch up. General overview, if you're a non-qualifier, this is kind of like a good checklist, to have in addition to what your coaches and your academic advisors have already given you. Man, I can't talk. Okay, and how that process works. So if you're a non-qualifier, you need to make sure you have at least your Comp 1, English Comp 1 and Comp 2 done at your JUCO before you transfer. Okay. Next, you need to have at least like college algebra or stats as a transferable math. Then a science with a lab you're going to need, and a 2.5 GPA. Very important to understand for those of y'all, JC guys that are fortunate enough to be going to like Power 5 schools and really FBS schools in general. Every conference from the Big Ten to the SEC to the Pac-12 to the Sun Belt to Conference USA, they all have additional academic requirements for transfer students that you would need to fulfill and satisfy before you can be admitted into that school. There's some, from my experience in dealing specifically with the Big Ten when I was coaching at a junior college, there was a player that was going to sign with a Big Ten school, but he couldn't be admitted into the school because the Big Ten specifically had 2 additional math classes that he needed to complete before he would be allowed to be admitted into the school. Okay, so very important, that you just get what your coach that offered you from that Power 5 school, and you guys work together with admissions to make sure that you've met the requirements for that specific conference or league. The general overall transfer process is pretty straightforward if you're a qualifier or non-qualifier. Right? Obviously, a qualifier, it's a little bit quicker and more straightforward path to get out. Or you need to pass 12 hours or more with of classes with a 2.5 GPA. And at the end of any semester, you can leave when you want to. Okay. If you're a non-qualifier, you need to get your associates and graduate from the JUCO that you're at. You need to have completed 48 hours of transferable work. That's what the next school you're gonna transfer to. That's what they're looking at. Okay. If you're on the quarter system, then 72 transferable credit hours if you're on the quarter system. All right, guys. So let's talk about this 4-4 transfer rule and how it works. Okay. I highly recommend you watch on the YouTube channel the 2-4 transfer video before you watch this, so you kind of understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Because once you transfer from your JUCO and you sign, so let's say you leave LA Harbor College and you sign with a Division II school in Ohio. Okay. Once you sign up that Division II school and you start enrolling and taking classes there, okay, and let's say you do well, you're there for a year, you do well, but you feel you can play at Ohio State. All right, so now you want to transfer from that Division II school in Ohio to Ohio State University. So to the NCAA, you are now in the category of a 4-4 transfer student. You're not a JUCO transfer student anymore. All right, you're a player at a 4-year school wanting to transfer to another 4-year school. All right, that's the category you are now officially put in by the NCAA. So there's a rule in place for that. Okay. I'm giving a disclaimer here. I'm not a fan of it just because there's so much gray area in there, and a lot of times, what's going to screw you as a JC player is your limited amount of eligibility left at the Division I level. You're already going to have to give up a year, guaranteed. You're going to have to give up a year to transfer from that Division II school to that Division I school. Now you're looking at like probably a year of eligibility left. Okay, so I don't agree with it. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's different if you're a qualifier and like you have 4 years or 3 years to play. I think that's a different scenario. But if you already redshirted at your JUCO and you basically have 2 years left to play, it's counterproductive to kind of take this route. Just my opinion. I'm not saying it's impossible. Please prove me wrong. I encourage you to. I'm just being real with you. Okay. Okay, so let's kind of go through the points here on how this 4-4 excuse me, I can't talk. Rule works. Okay, so you would first need to notify your current school in writing of your intentions to transfer. So at Division II school, you would need to talk to them and let them know what you're trying to do in writing. Okay. Then you would, you could try and look for a transfer waiver that would waive, that automatic rule by NCAA you have to sit out for a year. If there's some loophole you can find and show the NCAA, then you might not have to sit out a year. Okay, but good luck finding that. Okay. What screws over students that transfer the most is you need to be academically eligible at the current school you're at. So you can't be leaving that Division II school in Ohio to go to Ohio State with a 1.8 GPA, because you're not going to. First of all, you're not going to be admitted into Ohio State, okay? And even if you were to be admitted, you won't be eligible to even like practice or do anything with the team. Okay, so you need to be academically in good standing. You also can't have a bill. Okay, so if you owe money for something there, that they're going to use that against you as well as part of the admission process, because you obviously there will be a hold on your transcripts, okay, and so on and so forth. So you have to have the grades in order to transfer and be in good academic standing at that Division II school you're at in Ohio, and make sure you can't have a bill. Okay, those two things are going to hold you back. Okay, according to NCAA, if you're transferring to a Division I school, you also may not receive an athletic scholarship during your first year if you were not eligible to compete when you left your previous school. Okay, speaking on scholarship, the NCAA is a business, and you have to accept that and learn how to operate and make it work for you within those parameters. Okay, that's important, but it's a business, and I've spoken with a bunch of players, and this was the plan, right? This is their plan. They want to go to a lower level NAI Division II, Division III school, okay, from their JUCO, and then they want to transfer to like a Power 5 school to play. And the assumption is, well, that Power 5 school is going to put me on scholarship once I transfer. And you're dead wrong. I'm sorry. That is a very unrealistic way to think, and you're going to set yourself up for disappointment. The NCAA is a business. Think about it. If you're a Power 5 coach at Ohio State, okay, if you're a offensive coordinator, a head coach, whatever, okay, and you have this player, average, below average, Division III, Division II NAIA player, okay, that wants to transfer to my Power 5 program at Ohio State University, why am I going to bend over backwards and put you on scholarship? What for? If I can get you for free, I'm going to get you for free. I'm going to do everything in my power to not put you on scholarship. Because I shouldn't have to. You're a transfer student. I'm doing you a favor. That it's a business. That's how it's looked at. Okay. I know. Hey, I'm not trying to be negative. I want you to have all the facts and understand from that other school's perspective how you're being viewed. So it's very unrealistic, very dangerous. You're going to set yourself up for failure, okay, in addition to burning a year of eligibility and assuming that, oh, well, Ohio State's going to put me on scholarship. That Power 5 school's going to put me on scholarship. More than likely, they're not, okay? And more than likely, they're, you're going to be on the bottom. You're going to kind of get buried on the depth chart and kind of have to work your way up. So if you're transferring, you're burning a year, okay, and then there's no guarantee for playing time to suit up for a game, none of that. So I'm just being realistic with you, and I want you to have all the facts going forward before you decide to make the decision to be a 4-4 transfer, okay? Again, I don't recommend it because there's just too many bad things and uncertainty there. You know what I mean? And I'm all about chasing your dreams, but there are different methods to go about it. I'm not too big of a fan of this, coming from one four-year school to another. I'm not. All right, so establishing academic residency. So still talking about that 4-4 transfer rule here, okay? According to NCAA, the general rule, all right, in order to establish academic residency, transferring from one four-year school to another, you need to be enrolled at that new school for 2 full-time semesters, taking at least 12 hours or more. All right, you need to establish academic residency before you can actually compete like in a game. So you can still be put on scholarship if that school you transfer to wants to put you on scholarship, and you can still practice and be in the program, but you can't actually suit up for a game and compete in a game until you satisfy academic residency. Okay. So I already went over the general rules. Summer school does not count. These have to be fall, spring semesters. All right. And there are even additional requirements for specific schools. And you would have to talk to the compliance department to figure out what are exactly those are those steps that you would have to take. Okay. Student athletes who must sit out for a year at their new school may practice with their new team and get an athletic scholarship if they were academically eligible when they left their previous school. So once again, your grades and being in good standing, okay, comes into play, before, or as a part of the process of establishing academic residency. Okay. One last point here: for your academic year of residence to count, you must attend classes only at that school where you plan to compete. And once again, be enrolled as a full-time student. Okay. So you transfer from one four-year school to another. All right. And, you have to establish academic residency, and you have to be, academically eligible and in good standing with the previous school that you're coming from. That this is all part of the process. Okay. When you want to be a 4-4 transfer. Guys, thanks for all the feedback, okay, and the questions. Keep them coming. Keep the DMs coming. I'm here to help you. JUCOMate's here to help you. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram. Email us. If you need something put out there in terms of how do I do this, how do I transfer here, what classes do I need to take, I'm always here. JUCOMate's always here for you. Let me know how I can help you. Thank you.